Welcome to the FourHearts podcast, a podcast where we talk about Pokémon and other nonsense.
I'm Kawa.
I'm Glitch.
I'm Goku.
And I'm Devi, and in today's episode we're going to be theory crafting the strongest as one abilities or combination abilities. Kawa, start us off.
Okay, so I have a Pokemon that I really liked when I first played its generation, and I like the ability itself. It's just not viable, which is why I would say for an S1 ability for this Pokemon, I would give it its signature ability plus an ability that would help it. I'm talking about Cast Form and having it either have Drizzle or Drought, or as a hidden ability, Snow Warning.
Oh, I didn't really think about the fact that Cast Form changes forms with its... I know it's like obvious, but I've never really thought about the fact that it changes with its ability.
Yeah, Weather Ball, like you can give it Weather Ball, you can give it stat moves, and it doesn't take up the move slots for the weather, which was the biggest problem with Cast Form, because it could have been like a multiple type attacker, but it's just, oh yeah, you need to have the weather on the field, so you either had to bring another weather Pokemon, or you have it have a weather attack.
I will say, I do like the idea. It's very, very, very cool. I want to point out that maybe instead of Drought, it could have Orichalcum Pulse, because Cast Form's stats are all 70 in each of them. So you could run it as a physical attacker with Orichalcum instead of Drought.
Yeah, but I think its moveset is more special leaning.
Yeah, because Weather Ball's still special regardless.
Weather Ball, Heat Wave, I think it has Powder Snow, Blizzard, like everything is like special.
Yeah, its last three level up moves are Fire Blast, Hydro Pump, and Blizzard, I think, in that order. They're all on the same level, but that's the order, I think.
But yeah, that's my first idea.
I don't know if I used any Pokemon's like signature abilities that change their forms. Oh, wait. Oh, yes, actually, one of mine might not work, but we'll get to that, because Glitch is next.
Kind of going off of Orichalcum Pulse that I mentioned earlier, my as one ability also uses or does use Orichalcum Pulse. The interaction's a little bit strange. I didn't have any specific example in mind when doing this, just because the two abilities I'm using are Orichalcum Pulse and Desolate Land. This is a very like if-based ability, because the way Desolate Land works, it sets up what is the name of it? Like Intense Sun?
Yeah, I think it's right.
Yeah.
It sets up Intense Sun, which completely negates water type moves. However, I during my researching portion of this, I looked on Showdown, and they have it listed as Desolate Land doesn't activate other abilities that rely on sun, such as photosynthesis, but their reasoning for that is because both mechanics don't exist in the game simultaneously, so there's no real way to check. So my entire understanding is you could have Desolate Land to activate Intense Sun, and Orichalcum Pulse, you get a boost to your physical attack when the sun is up. For the best user of it, I think it's just pretty solidly Primal Groudon.
Arcanine also would work.
Arcanine would also work. That's true. You're still 4 times weak to ground, but I mean, it would still also work.
Who brings EQ anyway?
Dude, bring on Ho-Oh. Absolute cinema.
Entei.
Any fire type, really.
Any physical fire type.
You could run physical Charizard.
Mega
even
Charizard
though
X.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, solid for physical fire attackers. Alolan Marowak.
Alolan Marowak would go crazy with that. Yeah, that's my idea. Who's next? Coco, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm evil, because you'll have done like, oh, it's pretty simple, it's strong. I've made something that you just kind of can't kill ever.
Oh God.
Your Honor. So I wanted to do something weather-based, because we're doing weather-based to start with, and I wanted to use the worst weather of snow/hail, because no one else is going to pick it. There's one ability that works really, really well when you have just a constant source of hail/snow. And that's Ice Face. Ice Face Snow Warning. For those of you who don't remember, Ice Face is a signature ability of Ice Cube, and it makes it so that when it takes physical damage, it doesn't take any damage and it breaks its face. And then if it's snowing/hailing, it rebuilds its face. But we're not here to talk about Ice Cube, because he's a bum. I put it on a Blissey.
That's fucked up and evil.
Try and hit Blissey physically. Denied. Try and hit it specially to get past Ice Face. Denied. You're not killing me. I have soft boiled.
That's just evil.
You're like, ha, we can play this on how. I'm like, you are going to stand here. I have paid this Blissey to stare at you.
Coco's out here just playing stall.
I'm just taking names.
Run Assault Vest, only Seismic Toss.
Wait, I need that. I need boiled. I need Heal Bell if it gets it.
Yes.
Probably does. Yeah. I just need to live. It's not about killing you, it's just about living longer.
Wise words to live by.
I will outlive your grandchildren. I will laugh in their faces.
That's actually fucked up evil.
I think it gets worse, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
If that's all said and done, I guess it's Devi's turn.
I had, I wouldn't say a similar idea, but I went in the same vein of, you're not killing me. So there's a few abilities that heal you depending on the weather you're in, but the only one that has two of them is Rain, with Rain Dish and Dry Skin. And I was thinking, if you have Rain Dish and Dry Skin and Leftovers, you heal 25% of your health every single turn. The two examples I could think of for this would be Dundozo or Kyogre, because if you can just get Rain set up with either Rain Dance or a different Drizzlemon, then you could just be pretty unkillable. In like singles, you could just protect every other turn, and then you're healing half your HP every time you attack.
I would like the moment to also point out something that Devi didn't think about here, and that's the existence of the move Aqua Ring.
You're so right now. I gotta add that to my calculation. 1 second. Okay, I've done the math. You heal 5/16 of your health every turn.
If you protect, that's 10/16.
Yeah.
That's 5/8.
Let's go.
And
then
we're
just,
already
like-
rounding up, so you heal like to full every round.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Just heal stall is funny. Kawa, what's next?
Yeah, I have to fully agree with you on the heal stall. So what I'm presenting you is a Pokemon that can do all that on its own with a little bit less healing, like 1/16 less. We're talking about Alamamola with Rain Dish and Drizzle. So, Alamamola has access to Aqua Ring, White Guard, Protect, Wish, and if you want to like do some healing on your team instead and sacrifice your Alamamola if it's low on health, you also have access to Healing Wish.
My only comment is that Dry Skin is 1/8 of your HP, so you should do Dry Skin, not Rain Dish, because Alamamola is not threatened by Fire-type moves.
And you could also then, if you want to be overly excessive, you could also run Primordial Cease, and you physically can't be hit by fire moves.
So true.
You can just go even further beyond.
So I have the Weenie Hat Junior version, but we could put it on over 9,000.
This is like regular Goku, and we've just made Super Saiyan.
True.
I'm sorry, the sentence regular Goku is really funny to me.
But yeah, then Alamamola, Dry Skin, Primordial Sea, I guess.
I like how we have 3 in a
Just
row
heals.
that's just fuck you, I am staying alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about doing that.
The glitch, what did you think about?
So I already did one based around Orichalcum Pulse, and for some reason I was just really Gen 9 like focused during this first part of me working on these. So I was like, hey, why not do Hadron Engine? I asked Devi beforehand if I could do a terrain instead of a weather, because I felt like most weather would be taken up and mine would be not standoutish. So I did terrain instead. The ability that I paired with Hadron Engine was very simply Surge Surfer, which is the signature of Alolan Raichu. And Surge Surfer is very simple. It is either 1.5 times or just flat out doubles your speed in electric terrain. So if you have Hadron Engine and Surge Surfer, not only do you have boosted special attack, you also have boosted speed, and with a Miraidon, you could just flat out outspeed most of your threats and kill them.
Doesn't Miraidon already do that?
Yeah, that was kind of I fucking hate Calyrex Shadow Rider vibes. Why do you need to double your speed as a base 135 Pokemon?
You love outspeeding the horse.
Yeah, no, actually put this on Regieleki, yeah. I mean, he doesn't have any good coverage options, but like...
What are you trying to outspeed? Trick Room?
Yeah.
Stop that.
So fast, you can't even Trick Room.
With Surge Surfer, Regieleki could theoretically be fast enough to break out of Trick Room. Usually he can only achieve it by having a Choice Scarf and being +6, but I think you'd only need +4 for this.
That's why Aleki is my goat. So I'm changing my mind. Regieleki gets the as one Hadron Engine Surge Surfer because it's mad funny. Speaking of mad funny, Coco, do you have a mad funny as one ability?
So you may have noticed, dear viewer, there's a theme going on. For the first ones, we all were doing some description of weather. I've kind of gone against the bell curve, and I've not picked a weather for this one. And I haven't done what Glitch did and picked a terrain technically, because I think we have a problem in the metagame. There's too much weather, and there's too much dependency on these goddamn electric terrains and this godforsaken grassy terrain, grassy glide nonsense. So I have paid this Slurpuff to stop you. I've given it Misty Surge because it's the one terrain that's got no support. no electric hadrons, no photosynthesis. You're doing nothing. And then Cloud9, and it's just gonna come onto the field with that dumb little face and just stop you doing whatever you want to do. I also will point out I purely picked Slurpuff because of its face. Just imagine you're trying to rock your Hadron Engine, you're trying to do stuff, and he just goes, no.
I thought you were going to say Terraform Zero, Terrapagos' terrestrial ability, because it clears the field of all weathers and terrains. But this is much more hater vibes.
This is much funnier as well, in my opinion.
That's fair.
I do want to say, technically you have stuck with the weather theming, not because of Cloud9 negating weather, but in Sword and Shield, when it's foggy in the wild area or any of the DLC areas, that is considered its own I don't want to say weather type. Well, I guess weather type would be the correct way of explaining it. And you enter in wild battles in misty terrain. It's the same for thunderstorms. It sets up rain and electric terrain.
So yeah, once again, fairly simple entry, but on God, it's effective. Devi, what overcomplicated nonsense have you got?
I'm double checking that mine works real quick. Okay, it does. We're good. I had to double check because one of my abilities, I assumed that it changed the form of the Pokemon when in the sun, but it doesn't. It states it's directly not responsible for changing it. So I also had an Orichalcum Impulse ability, which boosts the... I don't think anyone actually said what it does. It sets up Harsh Sunlight, and once you're in the Harsh Sunlight, it increases your attack stat by 33%. And then I decided that wasn't enough, so I also have Flower Gift, which increases your physical attack and your special defense by another 50%.
That one's really good.
I think Solgaleo or Ho-Oh would either thematically or benefit from this the most, and I know Coco's sitting there wiggling in their chair with excitement that I've mentioned Ho-Oh.
Oh. It's because you're right, we have to speak so loud.
And yeah, I think that there's a lot of just shenanigans to be done with, what is that, 1.3 times 1.5 is, kind of 1.97 probably? Almost doubling attack.
Yeah, we can round up.
Round up to the nearest 97.
Mm-hmm. And when we round up to the nearest 7, well, we're already rounding, so nearest 10 probably.
You're right.
So basically Yoko's. Everything.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But can defeat Goku.
We're not making this a Goku episode.
Why not?
We should make a power scaling episode. That would be so dumb.
And Slurpuff.
Coco cut out Solid. All we heard Coco was Ken Slurpuff Goku.
Can Slurpuff beat Gojo?
Oh, Gojo. Alright, so moving on from the beginning where we just did exclusively weather-related abilities, we're going to move on to everything now. Now that the general concept's pretty obvious, there we go. And Kyle, you want to start us off?
Yes, but I have a question. This would, like, do a little bit of, a silly goofy for us because of, continuation and stuff. Because I have 2 Pokemon that would work amazing together with these abilities. The question is, should I do them separately or should I do them together?
Together, I guess. I don't really understand. We'll go for it.
So, the first Pokemon I have for you is a Pokemon that keeps its original ability and gains another one. I'm talking about Dancer/Prankster Oricorio. I think we all can see where I'm going with this.
No.
So I'm just gonna put the second one here. We have a Dancer again, but this time he's a little simple. He's a little silly. We talk about Ludicolo with simple.
Oh my god.
So Dancer as an ability copies any dancing type move that is used. So if someone uses Swords Dance, your Pokemon with Dancer copies the attack, which would just increase its attack stat by 2. Most commonly, it's used in like doubles with a Pokemon that has Quiver Dance to raise special attack. So with Prankster, we also have the advantage of using non-damaging status moves first in the turn order, or with increased priority. What was the priority again on Prankster?
+1.
+1, yeah, okay. So we just give our Oricorio a dance move, and it is the first to do it in turn order. With Ludicolo, we add Simple, which doubles any stat increase that it has. So instead of a +1 from the Quiver Dance on speed and special attack, Ludicolo gets +2 on both of those stats.
I really like the Dancer Simple Ludicolo. That just you inexplicably just click, oh, I'll just do like Quiver Dance, it'll be fine, and then all of a sudden you're in front of just I'm going to click a special move.
So Coco, did I do something good for your son?
This is acceptable.
But yeah, that's my first 2, so I'm gonna sit out round 2, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, Glitch, what do you have for us in your first round?
Okay, so for my third as one ability, this is admittedly a bit more of a last minute one, but I think it's still like very, very good. So I'm just gonna say what it is, and then I'll explain my reasoning. My as one is Gluttony and Harvest. So what Gluttony does, it allows a Pokemon to eat a berry early. So most berries, you have to meet a certain criteria before you can eat them. So a citrus berry, you can only eat it when you're at, I think 50% HP. And then some of the pinch berries, like the aguave, you can only eat when you're at 25% HP. But with Gluttony, you can eat the berry much sooner. So those pinch berries that activate at 25% HP now activate at 50% HP. And then what Harvest does is it gives you a chance to gain back a berry you've already eaten. So if you eat a citrus berry, you just have a 1 in 3 chance to get that berry back at the end of the turn. However, in the sun, Harvest will activate at the end of the turn no matter what, so long as you've eaten the berry. So my idea was very simplistic. Okay, Gluttony Harvest, throw that on literally any Pokemon who has Belly Drum, and you just keep swinging. That's like literally, you can just keep using Citrus Berries, you can just keep healing back up, or you can keep using Pinch Berries and heal even more. Or an idea that I came up with, again, very last second, Custat Berry. So what the Custat Berry does is it's like a Pinch Berry where it activates at 25% HP. However, instead of healing you, it gives you a +1 priority to the next move you use. So you could throw this on a Pokemon like Snorlax, Belly Drum turn 1, you eat the Custat Berry, you get it back with Harvest, and you get the +1 priority on the next turn for whatever move you want to use, say like, I don't know, Body Slam, because a Snorlax. And then you immediately eat the Custat Berry you gained back from Harvest, because, you know, you're still at the HP threshold, you have the berry, so you go ahead and eat it. So you're basically +1 priority for the rest of the fucking battle.
Because of Pinch Berries, I just realized, the Starve Berry raises a random stat by 2. So you would basically, with the Starve Berry and durability, give a Pokemon Moody without the negative.
This is a net positive Moody. That I didn't even think about that. I was literally about to ask, what the hell does Starve Berry do?
It's a random one, but still, it's funny.
The example Pokemon I mainly wrote down for this was Kommo-o, because it's just the strongest one.
You just love Como.
I do love Kommo-o, and Kommo-o loves me in turn because of that. Quad Weak to Fairy,
True.
what does that even mean? That was my ability. Coco, what is yours?
Okay, Porygon 2 is the Pokemon I have selected because I had to do a lot of research for this one because it doesn't work the way I want it to, and that made me sad. I understand why it doesn't work the way I want it to, because it would literally be broken if it worked the way I wanted it to. But, you know, let me have my fun. So Porygon 2 with an Eviolite is one of the bulkiest Pokemon on the planet. So I was trying to maximize its living potential. First off, by giving it one of the best survivability abilities in the game of Regenerator. So every time it switches out, it restores HP to itself. And combine that with Emergency Exit. So when it gets to a certain threshold, it gets put back, just heals back, and comes back out. I had to Google whether or not Emergency Exit was once per game, or if it could just keep happening. It's once per game, but if it was infinite, you wouldn't be able to kill this guy. He'd live forever. You'd have to one-shot it. You'd have no choice. Unfortunately, we don't live in this world, but I still think it's a good combo, because when you threaten Porygon to heal these and then he comes back stronger.
I didn't know that was once per. Like, that's a random, like.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of Googling, because I was like, ain't no way this works as well as I thought it does.
I will say, I don't know if it works as good as you were thinking, just because, like, eventually you would get down to just Porygon 2, and it wouldn't be able to switch out anyhow. But yeah, I do like the idea in general, though. It's very fun.
With everything said and done, I'm gonna do an Emergency Exit and pass over to Devi Yun.
Alright, and I have a bone to pick with Fluffy_Glitch over here.
Why?
So, my first ability, when I wrote new abilities, I was like, fuck, this is so funny. This is the one idea I had that was like, I want to make this a podcast. And it's Gluttony and Cudchew. And my example Pokemon is Kommo-o.
Why? Why Kommo-o?
Because he can Belly Drum, eat a Pinch Berry, get back to 83% HP, because of Cudchew, which makes you eat the berry the next turn, you get to 83% HP. You can then heal again the next turn after knocking out a Pokemon. And just sweep.
Whoops.
Alternatively, you could do it with a Salic Berry, which boosts your speed. Or is it Leech? No, Leech's attack. It's Salic Berry, right? Ain't nobody know anything about berries.
Like, I
You're
don't.
the you're the berry lady.
But yeah, I thought this was awesome because you can just be +6 and then you're just unstoppable and you have like raid boss amounts of HP. And yeah. My other example is Iron Hands, because he also has Drain Punch, and that'd be really annoying to deal with as well.
True.
One's also like pretty good. So who wins out, Custap Bear or Kudchu?
You gotta speak a little louder.
Who, Custap Bear or Kudchu? Who wins?
One of them, I guess.
Who won?
Oh, shit. Half the reason that was like half the reason I decided that we like decided on this being a podcast episode. The other half was every time any of us get into an argument about Pokemon for no reason, we always go, "Oh, but my Pokemon has huge power and Wonder Guard," and I think our brains are fried from that, and we really need to think of fucking anything else.
No, but huge power in Wonder Gorge.
I
Okay,
was literally
so
about to say.
this Glitch, don't worry. Devi is no longer gonna be upset at you because she's too focused to be on being upset at me. How to best start this? You know, I really don't like being one-shot by water spouting Kyogre. So I thought, what abilities could I use to survive a water spouting Kyogre and have a Mon on the field that still does damage to a Calyrex Ice Rider? And then I was like, shit, you know what types Ice is weak against? Fire and Rock. So I've given Dry Skin and Storm Drain to the Carco line.
Business is
Dry
booming.
Skin heals you for 1/4 of your HP, your maximum HP. When you get hit by a water type attack. You take 25% more damage from fire type attacks, but you're a Carco, you are rock and fire, so who cares about being hit by fire type moves? And when you're hit with water type move by while having Storm Drain, you raise the special attack by 1 stage. So your Meteor Beam or your Flamethrower on your Carco line hits harder.
The way you opened up, like, talking about the ability, it sounded like an infomercial. Do you hate being hit by water spout from a Kyogre?
True.
I would like to take the jury's attention to Calyrex Ice's most common coverage move. Plus 252 attack plus nature. Calyrex Ice high horsepower versus Colossal does 134% to 157% guaranteed
Air balloon.
one-hit KO. Shut your fucking mouth.
Air balloon and terrifying and didn't ask and don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mega Ampharos. I personally really love Mega Ampharos as a fellow sheep, but I would be lying if I said Mega Ampharos is really, like, good, for lack of a nicer way of saying it. And one of the reasons I think it's not that great is because of its ability. It goes from having, like, pretty much useless abilities in the form of static, which if it gets hit by a contact move, it has a chance to paralyze. But when it Mega Evolves, it changes the ability to be Mold Breaker, which Mold Breaker ignores other opponents' abilities. So let's say
Lightning Rod.
yeah, we'll go with Lightning Rod, yeah. So what Lightning Rod does is, instead of a Pokemon taking damage from an electric type move, it negates the damage and boosts that Pokemon's special attack. Mega Ampharos would completely ignore Lightning Rod's effect and damage the Pokemon anyway. Which Mold Breaker is, like, a pretty good ability. I don't think it's bad. It's the main ability that my favorite Pokemon runs, which is Haxorus. Haxorus mention. I got to get that in.
Mitsurus.
Fuck you. Anyway. But Mold Breaker it doesn't really work that much for Mega Ampharos because it's a Mega. So, like, you'd expect it to be, like, at least a pretty powerful ability. Which Mold Breaker is more utility focused. So I figured, what would I do in order to buff Mega Ampharos? And I thought, hey, why not just give it a flat special attack boost in the form of as 1 plus and minus? Ignore the fact that I think Mega Ampharos has the highest special attack. Well, no, has one of the highest special attack stats. He deserves it. He deserves higher special attack. Yeah, what plus and minus does, if you have a Pokemon with plus or minus on the field, if there is another Pokemon with plus or minus on your side of the field, both of them get a special attack increase. So it is quite literally useless outside of a double battle, and inside of a double battle, the only Pokemon who get plus and minus are not that good. So you would never have them side by side. Speaking of, anyways, on to the next. That sounds really mean. Coco, please present.
Great segue, bestie. So, the next combination I'm about to say out loud sounds really boring, but it gives me a chance to speak about something I think's really interesting. It's not about the abilities itself. Now, have you ever been in this situation? You have a beautiful speed boost mon, and it knows baton pass, and you're going to pass that to someone else. Scolipede, we can all read out Scolipede. The issue I have is, what if I want to run a special attacker? I'm looking for a speed boost and simple Swiss Army knife. And that's why I'm suggesting Decidui, simple and speed boost. Simple makes so that all your stat buffs and debuffs are doubled. Speed boost makes so that at the end of the turn you gain 1 + 1 to speed, so it'd be +2. Decidui is one of, I believe, 4 Pokemon that learn Baton Pass, Swords Dance, and Nasty Plot. The reason I selected Decidui specifically is because it's decently bulky. I know Incineroar's there, but he's decently bulky. He has Ghost for an immunity just to be more difficult to deal with. And he's also the only one that works well as a mixed attacker. His attack being only 7 points higher than his special attack, both being 100 and 107 respectively. So you could either run him with Baton Pass set up for somebody else, or you could run him as his own sweeper and you can pick his mode. You'll never know what the Decidui is going to do. He is like a Swiss Army knife of stat boosting.
I think that's just a generally good way of doing a admittedly very simple as one ability.
Very simple, I see.
Simple.
It's simple.
Right.
Simple mention.
Right, so now I'm gonna baton pass over to Devi to see what she's got. Hopefully
Are all
something
of
unique this
yours
time.
just designed to have segues?
No, this has just worked out really well for me, to be quite honest with you.
I chose, for my next one, I chose 2 abilities that aren't really talked about. One of them, I'm sure all of you know exactly who does use it and, like, how it works. The other one, I'm not sure how many of you even know it's an ability. My combination is Marvel Scale and Flare Boost. So the way that Marvel Scale works is if you are statist, your defense is increased by 50%. And Flare Boost, if you are burned, your special attack is increased by 50%. So holding a Flame Orb, you can boost both your special defense and your special attack by 50%. Now my initial ideas for this were Raging Bolt, which is what I like to call bad, because he would normally just run an Assault Vest and Photosynthesis and do the exact same thing, but this is slightly better for a special attack, and I thought that was funny. The other one was Dialga. That guy's got no good abilities. Don't look at them.
Another mon that would kind of profit of it and would make it actually like more viable, Melodic.
I don't think any other
Multi-scale
Pokemon has
was
Marvel Scale.
Lugia.
Dragonair.
Marvel Scale. Like Marvel Cinematic Universe?
You heard me.
Like Robert Downey Jr.
Mutini, and Dragonair have Marvel Scale.
Oh, they
not
do?
Multi-scale.
Oh.
Dragonite has multi-scale.
That's dumb and confusing.
You're dumb and confused.
Thank you. Pride myself on being such.
Speaking of nice things,
You're gonna steal my segue right now?
as a little apology for the carcoal incident, I have some little guys. Some little guys who should be taking a shower because they're stinky. They're stinky and skilled. They got skilling and stench. It's a fucking mousehold. A stinky, stinky mousehold. So, skilling is an ability that causes multi-hit moves to hit its maximum amount, which includes Mousehold signature move, Population Bomb. You hit up to 10 times. Not just Stench. Stench has a 10% chance to make the opposing Pokemon flinch. I see this as an absolute win.
Did you do the math?
I didn't do the math, I'm not smart enough for it.
0.9 times... What the fuck? I typed in 0.9 to the power of 10 and it popped up with the 9 plus 10 meme.
21.
21?
Fuck.
21%.
Why did it do that? Okay, hold on. It's a 65% chance to flinch.
Yeah, which... It's better than normal because it's normally a 50-50. Either you flinch or you don't.
You're right. My only note, why not just make it no guard? So you can't miss anyway?
Oh. I mean, yeah. No guard could work too, but it already has skilling, so it's like, you know what? Keep that.
No, it doesn't.
What does not? I wish, right? I mean,
Don't tell them.
Carl, I got you. The reason I don't want no guard is so that way my mouse is safer.
True.
If
Exactly.
I don't want to die.
Speaking of stinky, glitch.
Damn.
I'm going to ignore that very rude comment, and I'm actually going to like follow in your footsteps, kind of, Kawa, because I have two different as one abilities that have the same ability in it, but I think they're both so good I want to talk about them both. The entire crux of my as one abilities is centered around the ability Guts, which Guts, if your Pokemon has a status condition, so if you're paralyzed, poison, have a burn, if you're asleep, if you're frozen, even though you can't do anything, you still get a boost to, I think it's both of your attacking stats. I don't know if it's just physical or if it's both.
I think it's just physical, yeah.
My first as one ability is Poison Heal and Guts. So not only will you get the attack boost from being poisoned, you'll also be healing HP the entire time, because Poison Heal, rather than, damaging you, Poison now heals you for 1/16 of your full HP. So I will admit it's a very simple idea. However, the example Pokemon I want to use, I think could really benefit from this, and that's Flareon. So Flareon already has Guts as an ability, but it can't make the most out of it because it is a fire type. And fire types are immune to being burned. Being burned, it deals a small amount of damage, but it also reduces the amount of damage you do with physical moves. If a Pokemon has Guts, it completely ignores that, and you get the boost anyway. So, being a fire type, you can't be burned, so instead, Flareon has to poison itself with the item Toxic Orb, which is very risky because you get poisoned badly, so you're taking even more damage. Yeah, but with Poison Heal, you could very safely run Toxic Orb without having to worry about that chip damage. And for my second as one ability, this is, again, another one that might be a bit iffy. It is Guts and Comatose. What Comatose does is it treats the Pokemon with it as though it is asleep all the time. So you can't be inflicted with other status conditions because you're technically asleep. So assuming that you get the Guts boost from Comatose, you are immune to being statused, and you are given an attack buff as well. Now that in and of itself is like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I realized something while making this. One Pokemon who would benefit from it is Komala, who Comatose is its signature ability. What Komala would do is run the moves Sleep Talk and Last Resort. And what Last Resort is, it's a very powerful normal move, but you have to use every other move you have before you can use it. And since your only other move is Sleep Talk, Sleep Talk would only be able to call Last Resort, which what Sleep Talk does is if you're asleep, it selects one of your other moves at random. So you could run it with a choice band, click Sleep Talk, and it can only use Last Resort. But since you've already used all your other moves, you're allowed to just keep spamming Last Resort, which was really powerful. So they nerfed it, obviously.
When you said guts the first time, my immediate thought was, please say comatose, because I didn't think of that until you said guts, and I think that's really cool.
I knew we'd get to a point where I just had to accept that maybe things have gotten a bit out of hand. Because all of you, I was assuming you all would bring more degenerate type things like I have. Blissy's right there. So I've decided that I had to, if you're going to bring a problem to this world, you have to bring a solution, I believe. So that's why I invented the definition of don't care, didn't ask, with unaware neutralizing gas Drapion. Drapion, he's just a hater. Unaware makes it so that it will ignore your stat boosts. Neutralizing gas makes it so your ability doesn't work. And before any of you say, but wouldn't neutralizing gas stop aware? It has an ability shield. What now? Huh? Idiot. So yeah, this is just basically it's great that you'll have made these cool things and everything, but like, on God, who give a fuck?
See, I don't think it would actually remove its unaware, because I assume the way neutralizing gas is coded is that it can't debuff its user's ability, because then otherwise you wouldn't have neutralizing. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a grandfather.
It'd be a paradox. I just wanted to get that idea. I wanted to be like, absolutely, like if it would disable its other ability, then fine, ability shield. If not, even better.
Why'd you choose Drapion?
Bro, he just gives hater vibes. Look at him.
That's a hater if I've seen one.
Yeah, so like, oh god. As Devi Yun's biggest hater, impress me now, or otherwise you're getting knocked off as well, so you have no hold item either. Go ahead.
What's your problem with me?
I don't know, I'm just a hater today.
It's funny.
Alright, well, I have something that you'll love. A while back, I became obsessed with the idea of running this really, really bad set for Zekrom, where he runs the move Tailwind to double his speed and his teammate's speed. And it's so bad. It never works. It never does anything. He just dies. He should just be attacking. Actually, he should just be Miraidon. But, yeah. So, I've decided to give Zekrom some new abilities to play with in Prankster and Wind Rider. So, Prankster increases the priority of your Tailwind, as it's a status move, to +1, and Wind Rider will boost your attack stat by 1 stage because you set up Tailwind. And now, Zekrom is almost as good as Miraidon.
We have physical
Almost.
Miraidon at home.
I think it seems Iron Hands.
You're right, actually. Alright, moving on from our any ability choices, we now have our last 2 rounds where we're going to be giving Pokemon 2 of their pre-existing abilities. For example, King Gambit has both the abilities Supreme Overlord and Defiant. It's a good example, it's not what I'm using. But Colin, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna hit you with a double whammy because this Pokemon has 2 different forms and both of them actually kind of work together really well. I'm talking about my boy Sandslash. Sandslash in its Kanto form has Sandveil and Sandrush, which Sandveil increases the evasion in Sandstorm and Sandrush increases the speed in Sandstorm. And Alolan Sandslash has Snowcloak and Slush Rush, which basically does the same, but in snow. And both of them also gain the defensive boost of either weather type.
No.
Do they not?
Only rock types get the special defense.
Oh. But yeah, at least the more fragile Alolan Sandslash gets the defense buff from snow.
You can tear a rock, your Sandslash.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I saw those abilities and I was like, hold on, this works.
No, I think that's a good... I do like the fact that both forms do the same thing. I never really, mentally thought about that. Does Ninetales do the same? I know it shares drought and snow warning. What is Ninetales' other ability, like regular Ninetales?
Flash fire and then snow cloak, I believe. So
they
no.
don't. Interesting.
No.
There's only Sand Slash. That's pretty cool.
Then slash supremacy, baby. Let's go.
We love Sand Slash. But yeah, we should sand rush to the next segment. Glitch, your turn.
There's so much sand everywhere. Admittedly, for these ones, I went a little bit more simplistic, especially for this first one. So, I want you to think of Superior, and what is the one thing that he does? He spams Leaf Storm. So yeah, he's got Contrary, and he keeps his normal ability Overgrow. So if you can't guarantee a one-shot on him, guess what? You have even more powerful Leaf Storm at what Contrary and Overgrow do. Contrary makes it so any stat drops become stat raises, and vice versa. So any raises become drops. So that creates a very, like, one-trick pony type situation with Pokemon such as Superior, who want to just spam moves that lower their stats, such as Leaf Storm. So moves like Leaf Storm, they harshly lower your special attack, but with Contrary, they now sharply raise it. So you just get stronger the more you use it. And what Overgrow does is if you get to 33% HP or lower, all of your grass type moves gain a small buff in power. I think it's 1.3 times. Oh, it's 50. Oh, damn. It's stronger than I thought. But yeah, if you were to throw, say, I guess, Choice Scarf onto Superior and just keep spamming Leaf Storm, if your opponent can't guarantee a one-hit KO on it, but they go for it anyway and you live, that next Leaf Storm is just going to be so much more powerful.
I'm more partial to Focus Sash instead, so you can always live in Overgrow range. Because Superior is quite frail.
He doesn't have the highest speed, though. That's why.
113. It's not bad.
Oh, he's got 113. Damn, never mind. He's pretty good. Anyways, let's not question how bad this segue is. On to Coco.
This part was probably the hardest part for me, because I can't do anything that's stupid and silly. I'm very limited to the confines of what is legal in the game. So where do I go? What if... I'm trying to work out which one I even want to show. Because on God, this is straight trash. Talk about this one. If you want funny, we'll talk about this one. What you all know about Bruxish? Let's talk about Bruxish. So Bruxish gets two... He gets one, like, I think, unique ability, and the other one's... I don't think it's unique, but it's rare. Dazzling and Wonder Skin. Dazzling works similar to other abilities that do the same thing, such as Armor Tail, which you've seen a lot of play, where it just blocks priority moves. And then Wonder Skin makes it so that if a status move used on the Pokemon has an accuracy check, the accuracy check gets lowered to 50%. So don't you try and spoil my fish, and don't you try and fake him out either. He will keep on shining. And I also just like the idea that he's so dazzling because of his wondrous skin. I thought that made me smile.
Damn.
And that's why it's there.
Yeah. More Bruxish love, honestly.
Real. Go ahead, Koa.
Yeah, I really want to at some point shiny hand a Bruxish, because its shiny color scheme looks so nice. It would have been much nicer if it was the standard color scheme.
I'm gonna have to agree to disagree here.
That's because you're colorblind.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck red is.
Devi, I have a question.
What?
What does Santa Claus look like to you?
He's red, jackass. If we both point at a color and go, it's red, then it's red. It doesn't matter how colorblind I am.
Okay.
Does it though?
Anyway, speaking of Santa Claus, Devi, it's your turn.
How am I saying?
What's the worst segue? Sorry. Just a compliment have the worst segue, and I had to lock in.
Before we segue, I'd like to say I would also like Bruxish with one of its other abilities, like Dazzling and Strong Jaw is funny too, because you can just run your Choice Scarf Psychic Fangs, and call it a day, because strong drop boosts your psychic fangs, and kind of just that's how he exists in singles. And then just blocking priority would be a nice bonus on top of that. Anyway, what the fuck are mine?
Thanks, Santa.
Why am I Santa?
Merry Christmas, everybody. And for those who don't celebrate, Happy Easter. Really fuck them up.
There's no
What?
we find a person on Earth that celebrates Easter and not Christmas.
There's someone out there who just really fucks with the Easter bunny, and they're like, yes, dude, I love Easter. And then Christmas rolls around, ew, who's this fat guy? I am plus size. I will state that for the record.
What do I have again? I got... Oh, this one's fun. My next Pokemon is Porygon Z. So Porygon has the ability Adaptability, which increases the same type attack bonus increase from 1.5 times to 2 times. And it also has the ability Download, which increases your attack or your special attack depending on which defense stat is lower from your target. So he can kind of... If you get unlucky, you're going to eat a triple damage Hyper Beam and die. Any questions?
I'm a ghost type.
No, not again.
Alright, who wants to volunteer to be Hyper Beamed?
Not me.
It's
Kawa?
Kawa's turn next.
Oh, it is Kawa's turn. He gets on.
Okay, now that Kawa's dead, Glitch, it's your turn.
No, I was staying
All right.
silent.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back like Mr. OU himself. Gen 5 OU. I'm talking about Cloyster, baby. Cloyster with Skill Link and Overcoat.
Scream if you love Skill Link, Kawa's semi-engine.
I do love Skill Link. Skill Link, as before explained, causes your multi-hit moves to hit the maximum amount of hits. Overcoat is a little bit more complex. Not really. But Overcoat makes the Pokemon immune to powder moves, damage from Sandstorm or Hail, and the effects of Rage Powder and Effect Spore. So yeah, what you're thinking about OU Cloyster making a return?
Just feels like marginally more annoying. Oh, you Cloyster.
I guess it's my turn.
Don't sound so excited.
Yeah, the segue's broken.
I guess it's my turn to share my As One ability. I'm so excited.
Okay, calm down, Dex Midoriya.
Shut the fuck! Don't compare me to that bitch ever again. So, for my As One, for one Pokemon, I'm going back to one that we've already mentioned, Lightning Rod, paired with the ability Motor Drive. So, Motor Drive, what that does is if you get hit by an electric move, it raises your speed by 1. I don't think it negates the damage dealt. However, Lightning Rod will do that anyway, and also boost your special attack. And you might be wondering, who gets both Motor Drive and Lightning Rod? I think Kawasemi knows, because I think it's one of her favorite Pokemon. It's
my baby, Zebstrika.
Yeah, I did have like an example of how this could be like somewhat useful in like a competitive sense. So let's say you have Zebstrika sitting next to a Miraidon, right? Okay. And Miraidon, the whole thing that Miraidon's doing is clicking Discharge. If a Pokemon on your side of the field uses a move that would hit everyone, not just someone on the opposite side of the field, it actually doesn't redirect the entire move. So Zebstrika absorbs the hit that it would have taken, and then your opponents still take damage. So what you could do is have Miraidon continuously click Discharge, so you keep getting stat increases on Zebstrika, but you don't lose any HP. And you can use a really powerful move that it gets in the form of Electro Ball, which deals more damage the faster you are than your opponent, which would be buffed by both having your speed buffed and your special attack.
I think that's a good one.
We love Zebstrika buffs. We love Zebstrika.
Mediocre dog.
Whoa.
Them's fighting words.
Yup.
Them is fighting words.
Gogo's picking fights tonight.
They're constantly picking fights.
I'm picking it.
Ew.
Stop picking it.
For $1, give me a segue.
Oh, right. Sorry, my bad. Coco. What's your next task? One ability?
If there's one thing in the Pokemon franchise that I hate, it's having to make decisions. So this Pokemon, its two abilities are both really good, and it makes you choose between them. But I said, no, I will have both, thank you. It's Lantern with Volt Absorb and Water Absorb. Let's take all the guessing games out of this. Why should you try and guess? I have both. Am I going to absorb your water move? Am I going to absorb your whatever that dumb signature move of Miraidon is called?
Electro
Drift. Mega Blast.
No one
Water
said.
Pulse gone.
Yeah, I mean that's a
Big
pretty simple one that gives you 2 nice immunities per switch-ins, which I really like. I really like Lantern for that because it has Volt Switch, so you can pretty much throw it into an immunity and then Volt Switch, and you have full freedom on what to do next.
Devi Yun. Go and be epic.
I had a very similar thought to mine. Is that the Pokemon Dragonite has 2 very good abilities, and I personally don't like having to choose between them. Because Inner Focus allows you to remove being flinched, which is great in the current VGC meta because there's so many fake out mons. And Multi-Scale, which has incoming damage when you're at full HP, which can be great to live just your first hit. And I don't like having to choose. And I certainly don't like the guessing game as well. So I just gave it both.
Devi really said, fuck you, skilling stanch mousehold.
No more. And I think that's it, right? I suppose that wraps up this episode of the podcast. Thank you for listening. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Check out these lovely people. I don't know if Glitch has made a YouTube channel and uploaded at this point. They better.
And I definitely stream. Smile.
Bye. Come
Goodbye.
watch my YouTube channel.
Goodbye.
Give me your social security number.
Whoa.
Don't give them the social security number. You don't know what they're gonna do with you.
I can be
Insert
trusted.
$billions into your disk drive now.